Hello, hello. Welcome to the Friday Night Craft and Chill. Fat Red Foo says first. You're correct. You are first this time, dude. I see that. Where's my glue? Glue. Starting kind of late tonight. It's going to be a little, I don't know, might be a slightly short one. Let me lower this music a little. Been kind of not really doing too much diorama stuff lately. I'm sure you probably noticed I haven't been posting on Instagram or any of my short form stuff too much. Been kind of preoccupied lately, so we'll see what goes on with that. There might be some changes here soon, but I'm not exactly sure. All right. I don't know if these old pieces are going to be sufficient for what I want to do or if I need to make some new ones, but yeah, I think we'll try these old pieces. Let's see what we got here. Been a crazy week. Yeah, it's been interesting over here as well, man. No doubt. So I have this, and I know last week I painted, or I started painting the other little console. I don't know what I did with it. Let me see if it's over here. No, I've somehow literally lost the entire console. It's got to be around here somewhere. I'll find it. Yeah, I saw Fat Red. A lot of stuff going on over there with you for sure. Back in the hospital too. Then your birthday, yeah. Yeah. It does seem to all come at once. Here's that console. You know what? I'm just going to skip right over to doing some paint on that before I start gluing anything here. I don't know, man. Like I said, I've been just not communicating the last few months too much on Instagram, last couple of months really, to be honest. So I spoke to Ed maybe last week. That's the last time I spoke to Ed. No big deal. I'm just gonna be on here a little bit, work on a few things, and then Saturday, you know, like I said, Saturday has been my computer-free day. I have been getting on there a little bit sometimes, but I've been really enjoying. I like now. At first it was very difficult for me to turn the phone off, turn the computer off, but now I find myself looking forward to every week having everything off for Saturday. I do reading. I'll do some cleaning. Yeah, man. So that's been kind of nice. TAR Productions. What's up, TAR? Fat Red, yeah. There's quite a few things going on, honestly. Quite a few. But despite that, I've been feeling pretty good. You know, things are gonna come, and I guess it is what it is to an extent, part of life. But yeah, there's been some medical stuff, but nothing super dire. But just stuff you gotta deal with, man. Yeah, thank you. Faulty Videos, what's up, man? Good evening. Oh, here comes Briscoe coming in. What's up, Briscoe? I know I started a little bit late. I think it's throwing everyone off, but I see people just kind of trickling in now. I know if I had an actual start time, it might be a little bit easier for people to know when I start, but that would be crazy. Getting here while finishing this Punisher figure. Cool, cool. Good to be with like-minded people. Not blah, 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 like-minded people. Hold on, wait, where is it? There we go. That one was for me. Good to be with like-minded people. Right on, Faulty. Hang in there, random. Yeah, I'm alright, TAR. Things are actually... It's a mixed bag right now, but some things are going going good, while some things are just, you know, persevere and all that. That there. A bigger brush would be a good idea. I need new flats so badly, and I keep not buying them. I guess we could try this behemoth. See how that works out. It wouldn't be random if I had a start time. You are correct about that. Roland, Utah Toy Hunter. Hello. Hello, Roland, Utah Toy Hunter. How are you? Found some decent brushes at Ross. Wow, that's someplace I haven't actually looked. You know, someplace I miss, we used to have one here and I used to go to it all the time. I guess it's been years now. It's Tuesday Morning. I really used to like that store because they had a lot of nice stuff that was like almost premium or premium kind of off-brand. And yeah, they're long gone now. That place was amazing for like towels and comforters and stuff like that too. Pots and pans I used to get there. And toys. Ross. Okay, well, I guess maybe I'll go check out Ross. Yeah, that happens with the cheaper ones, Fat Red, but it doesn't really matter. These types of paints we use, it doesn't really matter if they're cheap or not. Working on a back computer and cheated, I 3D printed a lot. Yeah, I do feel like I'm cheating when I 3D print things sometimes, but sometimes not. You 3D printed it in resin or 3D printed it in FDM? The brushes wick well. Yeah, very cool. It's, you know, I mean, a lot of times the cheaper brushes work fantastic for a short period of time and then they're garbage, but you know, it's all good. You can easily ruin an expensive brush too. The dio is a lot in FDM. I do print in resin. Figures usually. Yeah, you know, Curtis, I don't like resin. I mean, it's great and it's better for details. It's better for, obviously, the organic shapes of figures, heads, musculature, all that. But Just don't like dealing with it. Don't like handling it. Don't like the smell. Amazing technology. I'm sure it's killing us when we use it, though. FDM probably is too, slowly. I'm not going to lie. I used to think, it was no problem using an FDM printer. Health risk is minimal, and it is minimal, I think. But when I got COVID, this was, I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. Maybe not that long. I realized that I was running my printer, and before I knew I had COVID, I started just coughing and coughing and coughing, and I was having a hard time breathing, and it was the FDM printer running, in the other corner of the room. I wasn't on top of it or anything, and it just made it where it was difficult to breathe. And I don't ever experience that normally, but it made me realize, okay, this thing is probably thrown a little bit more into the air than what I previously thought. Doesn't do that to me at all now, or never did before, but when I was having the respiratory issues, my body was like, yeah, dude, turn that thing off. So yeah, all this stuff, I'm sure the fumes from even the paint and the glue and stuff are probably not the best for you. I need to get my air filter going again. I used to always have one running. Yeah, Fat Red, just play with Tinkercad. I mean, if you want to do sculpts, that's one thing, but that's going to take a lot more time to learn unless you already have some good knowledge of sculpting, a good idea in your head on how to sculpt facial features or whatever you want to sculpt, then it won't take that long, probably, just learning the software. But for making box modeling and all this kind of stuff that, you're into for dioramas, Tinkercad works completely fine for some of the simpler stuff. And even some reasonably complicated things, you just can't be as exact, I'd say, with Tinkercad as you could with traditional CAD software. You have to kind of eyeball stuff. Not exactly eyeball. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a little bit more difficult to line things up and to replicate things in Tinkercad than I assume it would be in Fusion or something like that I don't know how to use very well or at all. But you can get a lot of stuff done in Tinkercad. Now, this isn't exactly rocket science here, so one of the hardest problems I have in Tinkercad is getting parts to fit together well. Like if I want to have things that have a little studs and a little hole on the other side so I can snap them together. It's kind of tricky because Tinkercad is just not. Some of it's probably my ability too, for sure. But yeah, it's hard to get things to line up a little bit sometimes. Crap. Oh no. Yeah, man, I'm gonna make a total mess today. Alright, let's get some paper. Something is going to get us... Yeah, I mean, pretty much faulty. You're not wrong on that. Sort of, Fat Red. Yes, it does. But, I don't know, it's hard to explain. What's up, Oz? How you doing, man? So in Tinkercad, the easiest way I've found to get a like a mortise and tenon or a peg in a hole to line up is to basically make the peg, make it attached to something, space it out accordingly on the object, and then on the other part that's going to have the female part of that, you have to take that and place it, make a copy of the make a copy of the male part and how far apart it's going to be, you know, if there's two pegs. Make a copy of it, turn it into a hollow or a hole, place that in the other part that'll have the female part, and then subtract it from that so the holes match the pegs exactly and are spaced exactly. And I'm sure there's a better way to do that with a normal CAD software, and maybe there's even a better way to do that in Tinkercad, but I haven't found that really. The measuring capabilities are like a little, I don't know how to put it, maybe a little wonky or a little lacking. Box of Cannons, hey Box of Cannons. Thor and Acosta, what's up? Thor, hi, Random and everyone in the chat, working on some custom figures for my boss. He's a fan and he's watching the show. Very cool. Very sleepy now. I'll catch you all later. Take care, Thor. You have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, man. What kind of resolution does your 3D printer have? Man, I don't know. Resolution isn't something that really comes up with FDM 3D printers. If you're talking about for my resin printer, it matters what the screen size is too, and I don't remember, but it's a Anycubic Photon Mono 6K resolution. My FDM printer uses a 0.4 millimeter nozzle. I do have the 0.2, but I haven't put that on there. With the FDM printer, handheld items for 118. I don't know, like I said, I haven't ever tried the finer nozzle. They would be chunky. They would be chunky. You could get something, you know, depending on what it was. It might not look perfectly realistic. You know, it would look chunky. Now, if you were doing like a shield or something like that, it probably wouldn't look too bad because you wouldn't see the back of it. You would just see the front, and the front just takes on the texture of the build plate, kind of like this. This little sword It's just a flat sword, but you can see the... I mean, you've seen these before, what the texture looks like. Where is that camera at? There. But I have some... I mean, I've made weapons and stuff for those dummy figures. You know, it's a 5-inch figure. So it is nowhere near as good as a resin printer. A resin printer would have this thing looking completely, you know, realistic. But, you know, yeah, you could definitely print something for 118. How did this print? Oh, this printed right here on the top. So it actually printed like that on the print bed. I mean, the swords had enough detail to be able to, you know, slide in the sheath, so. The simpler the object, I think, the better it would look. You know, maybe a hammer, maybe something like that. And you might have to do it, like, cut it down the middle so you have the two halves, and then you glue them together. Yes, they do have special plates for different textures. They do. All kinds of crazy ones now, actually. And, yeah, sure, you could do computers, cell phones, accessories. I imagine so. When you design them in Tinkercad or whatever you're using, you have to kind of think about the orientation of how you're going to print the object, depending on what sides you want the print bed texture to be on versus, you know, you don't care. If it's going to have to print with or without supports, I try to make everything print with 0 supports, so, you know, it's good to have one side contacting the surface completely flush. But then you also have to watch your angles and your overhangs and stuff like that. So it's, yeah, you just, once you get used to doing it a little bit, you'll know how to think about it. Yeah, I think you could do tools. It's just going to be kind of rudimentary. The detail you're going to get at 1/18. Now, once again, if you switched it out with a finer nozzle, maybe. I haven't played with that too much, even though I have one. Wow, I forgot I had some tea left. What are we doing here? Blue? Yes, there are different types of print materials, Fat Red. However, a lot of them require a closed bed, like I have here, an enclosure, because some of the materials vary in their ability to withstand temperature variation while printing, like ABS, for instance. I think it's called TPU is the one that's really flexible and squishy, but I haven't ever printed that. Also, I don't have it vented out the window, and I use PLA mostly, and sometimes PETG, and they have probably the lowest fumes and odor that come off of them. I don't know what kind of fumes the rubbery one has, but yeah, there's quite a nice variety these days. And the colors are pretty cool now, man. I mean, they got sparkly ones and two-tone and glow-in-the-dark and all kinds of stuff. I actually have a bunch that I haven't even used I need to get into. I know, let me see, I got one thing here. This is just PLA, but it's two-tone. And that's a Deadpool. And you could see it's a simple Deadpool standee, but you can kind of see the color. It's got that blue to red. One side of the thing was red, one side of the thing was blue, and it's pretty neat. You can definitely be useful for some cyberpunk or something like that. But that's just standard, PLA. So, somewhat rigid. PLA is pretty good, though, honestly. For this kind of stuff, it's all right. I don't know if you could make tires that would be detailed with TPU, with the squishy stuff. Maybe. I don't know how fine the detail on that material is, like how well that comes out. This blue might be a little too dark. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Let me get a little more gray. Smoothing with acetone, no. But acetone baths are not really that great for PLA. It's better for I just said it. I think ABS is what you use acetone for mainly. You could even put it in like an enclosed space and the fumes go up and melt it out, but it doesn't work as well with PLA. Do you have to have a special printer for each type? No, but some types of filament require a hardened steel nozzle instead of a normal nozzle. Every type of filament requires different temperature settings, different flow settings. Now, like a printer like this one, the Bamboo, has a lot of that programmed into there if you already have the brands of filament that it knows. Otherwise, you got to get the specs and put it in yourself. And maybe they'll be correct, or maybe you'll have to tweak it a little bit. Also, like I said, certain types of filament require an enclosure, like ABS, because just a little bit of a breeze blowing on it from someone walking by, or your AC kicking on or something like that will cool it, because it only has to cool a few degrees, and then the layers won't adhere to each other, and your whole 10-hour model or whatever you're doing will fail. So there's different factors, and it used to be a lot trickier to get all that to work, but a machine like this, it does almost everything for you. But there are some considerations with different materials. Always start with PLA. Just start with the simple. Work your way out from there. Nope, not today. Almost put the wrong color on there. Turquoise. Mediterranean. I don't know, man. Let's try some of that. Careful with the enclosed spaces, it can blow up with the acetone. Yeah, I haven't done it, Oz. I'm not really planning on doing it. Or are you talking about the enclosed printer? You probably mean the acetone in there with the fumes. That's sounds like a good tip. Honestly, yeah, the acetone. Thanks for the clarification. Honestly, with the 3D printing, I don't want to go through all that. You know, using all that different stuff. I mean, it's cool. I want to try and get the model to look as good as possible without doing that. Even if the model is simple, you know, I don't want to go through all those extra steps and makes it. Especially you have a laser cutter in the same room. That's also a very good thought there, Fat Red. So that's how people are using recycled balls to 3D print stuff. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing there. I know they're melting things up and remaking, but I'm not exactly sure how they're going about that. Gotta close these old eyes. All right, Faulty, take care, man. Does Tinkercad have templates for certain things, or is it only for design purposes? It depends what you mean by templates. They have a large amount of already generated objects that you can just drag and drop in there, and then you can change the parameters. And it has basic Boolean functions, you know, so you could make the object into a negative object to subtract it from another one, or you can add two objects together to make a more complicated object. Templates specifically, you can drop a, import a, I don't think it's PNG. I can't remember the type of file it has to be. But I have imported fonts before into Tinkercad. Wait a minute. Did I import it directly into Tinkercad? Yeah, I've imported fonts into Tinkercad. Man, I can't remember if I put it in this other program first to generate the 3D model and then brought it into Tinkercad. I can tell you one thing, Tinkercad has built into it a text generator, so you can get a font loaded in there and type things out in there, and it'll make 3D text, which is pretty cool. Still trash, just upscaled. Yeah, no kidding. Note to all three-letter agencies, we are talking about the dangers of 3D printers. Don't be alarmed. Exactly, Briscoe. Exactly. Just chill out. Just chill out. All right. Back to whatever the heck this is. if anything here needs touch-up. Looks pretty good. Let's get some yellow. There we go. This is 1/18 scale, Fat Red. Eduardo, what's up, Eduardo? That blue is way too deep. I got that deep navy on there. I don't like it. Let's try the blue kazoo and see if that livens it up a little bit. I'm just dropping paint everywhere today. Yeah, no problem, Fat Red. Seems like a safe space to ask questions. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. Wait a minute. Who did I see? I saw Ed. TAR said Ed was. Oh, he's talking to Eduardo. Eduardo, what's up? I thought he meant Axion. I was like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen Ed in here. It's a safe space to ask questions if Ed's not here for you. Fat Red. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, that's questionable. think Ed is in the woods right now in the mountains. That would be cool. He probably is. I just assume whenever he's gone, he's out by the creek somewhere. I would have participated, but I don't know technology, so I don't know how to upload pics or videos to different sites. Hey, what's up, Kenzo? Come back to check the sales at the grocery store. Come here, chat, and watch paint dry. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Fat Red. I think it's that, or like occasionally when I just randomly bust out something that I wasn't planning on doing on the hot wire cutter. But that's pretty much sums it up. It's just people hanging out and chit-chatting. I remember when I first started, I would try to like, all right, we're going to do this and I'll explain how to do it. And I just gave up on that pretty quick. The chill part was more appealing to me. Cool vibes, right on, man. I bet if you went back in the old live streams, you'd be able to watch the inflation happen. What inflation? I don't know what you're referring to. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, dude, I'm just chilling. It's all good. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, thank you, Kenzo. I could make more videos. I probably should. All that kind of stuff, you know. I don't know. I just it's just a relaxation thing, hangout kind of thing. And you be learning stuff. Right on, man. Super chill right now. Had an edible plus my back was sore. 4 back pills. Goodness, Briscoe. Yeah, Briscoe is in some place. Briscoe doesn't even know where he's at. In an unknown location. About to take my evening black pill right now. Too much. Oh well. I feel like the next live will be from the floating yellow chair, Eduardo. Eduardo is not giving up easily. He dreams of daily Dr. Pepper and the yellow floating chair. I guess we'll do red buttons on the side. Thought about getting some green, but whoops. Thank you, Kenzo. I think I'm gonna paint this a lighter color though. I don't know if I should go lighter or darker. We're going lighter. Next stream. Briscoe, you agree with anyone that will be cantankerous. It's one of the words my dad used to use to describe me. Cantankerous and an obstreperous rapscallion. That's a mouthful. Yeah. Obstreperous rapscallion. we got here? We got Cobweb Collector. What's up, Cobb? It's Jay Gonzo. How you doing, Jay? Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and say that, TAR. Yep. Doing well, Jay. Doing well. Where is my... There we go. A random green, right? This is my favorite green for consoles. It's light avocado. It's the same green I use on all the red consoles for the screens. Lots of times I do use blue on the the blue-gray consoles like this, but I really do like that green. Reminds me of like you know, the old green monochrome displays, or like what you would see in Fallout or something like that. Man, that's a lot of yellow, but that's what we're going with. Weird Science is great. The logo would be the beard and a wizard hat. Perhaps. Make my own paints? That would be interesting. Big screens? Yeah, maybe. I have thought about using those. This is an original random job. Yeah, I have thought about using those larger 3D printed screens eventually, but I'm not sure right now. On screen. Oh, you mean a? Yeah, I get what you're saying, Fat Red. What is it? The view screen? What do they call that? The main. I think it's called the main view screen. Something like that. Yeah, that would be cool, but I feel like that would look kind of bland with just green paint. That would have to do something fancier, like a printout or something like that. So I have to think about that a little. Picard engage. It's all I know from the Next Generation, right? What's up, Troy? What do I want to put there? That could be maybe a darker red. Do we have a darker red? Cardinal red. No. gotta be a green. That's glossy. No gloss. Satin green, marsh green. Let's see what a marsh green looks like. It's not super distinguishable from the avocado green, I don't think. I don't know, maybe. Let's see. That looks Christmas. That's way too Christmas. All right, I'm going to leave that right there. More red. Orange. Orange. Orange? More blue. Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I'm not, I don't know. Emerald green. Yeah, emerald green doesn't sound bad. More blue is not bad, Fat Red. It does need more blue. I just don't know if that's the blue I want. I think this is the blue I want. I'm not sure if this is... I think this is dried up. I gotta get more of this Wedgwood blue. I really used to like this color, but I haven't been able to use it in a while. I keep wanting to use it, but I just have this dry, half-full bottle of paint. Color shift. I could do something funky like color shift. Nah. No. What kind of greens do we have? I don't know about that. That might be Christmas too, because it's just another green, but let's see what it looks like. No, that's not bad. It's kind of subdued. Yeah, that'll work. panel in the middle would be cool. Yeah, I actually would have done like black. I thought about painting this block right here black, or yeah, but if I was gonna paint it, I would paint this black or maybe a gray. Neutral colors, but I should have done that before I started painting everything, and I already started while it popped into my head. I've done that before on more well thought out consoles, but whenever I do things live, the thought process is not always quite that organized. Just kind of gets going, and then I just kind of go with it. But yeah, like even with the old red ones, they have the, you know, that panel painted on the bottom, but obviously you got to do that before you start adding in the color. And this is from the same diorama as this is from, but it's got like the black panel over there. I guess that could have been painted too, but it looks all right. Sometimes it's good to have a blended it, and sometimes, yeah, to have one popping out to break it up is fine. But you know, when you go to take a picture of it, this has the light blasting down on it from the top. But when you go to take a picture of it, you'll have light coming from the side, and the shadow that it casts will pop it off of there a lot more, so it'll like differentiate it. It still looks kind of bland there. Hold on, wait, like, yeah, like that. You'll get more depth depending on what angles you're looking at it from. It won't look quite so flat. But yeah, I agree. It could have been a different color there that would have given a little bit more pop. You've got more paint, no shame in pivoting. Nope, that ain't happening, Fat Red. I don't redo stuff like that generally. I can sometimes, but it's pretty rare for me to do that. You start redoing things like that, you just keep redoing them and redoing them and redoing them and redoing them. Besides, it looks okay right the way it is. That's an idea for next time, that's all. If I remember. It's not like I haven't thought about that before, but remembering is another thing altogether. Sometimes with the details like this too, if you start layering, like trying to repaint the whole thing, you'll get some funky gunk in there around the bases of the little wooden things. You got to be careful. The paint starts to get a little thick. Kind of looks kind of messy, but where are we at? No. Purple. This thing is probably going to need a wash. Oh yeah, I didn't do the bottom panels. Black, maybe? It's kind of stark. Very Halloween. Alright, let me just paint them black though. They're going to be on the bottom. It's not going to really matter. Anyway, let's paint that. Close that. Where are we at? It is 12:47 already. Wow, that actually went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. I felt kind of sluggish in the beginning. Take care, Fat Red. I'll be done soon anyway. You have a good night. All right. All right, guys. Well, we've been going for 1 hour and 55 minutes. It's 12:51 a.m. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We did these two little consoles and painted those up, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably paint this part just like this, and I'm debating on whether or not making that black. I think black would be cool. But we're going to stop here. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Appreciate everyone. Especially channel members. Special shout out to you guys. And thanks to anyone that came by, hung out, and, just commented. So take care, everyone, and I will see you guys next week. Later.